Yeah. Okay. All right, I gotta go.
Good afternoon, Richard. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No problem.
Well, Richard, what do you want to talk about today?
Women. Isn't it always about women?
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, I don't know. In high school, I was always the geek. I didn't have this problem. The popular girls avoided me like math. Now I'm pretty successful. I started the software company that's doing well, so I've got the lake house and the Porsche, and now I get to date some really attractive girls.
So, what's the problem?
I don't know. I'm considered a catch. So I don't know if these attractive girls are fucking me or if they're fucking my money.
Hello, Corey.
Hi.
Corey, one thing I don't know about you is what you do for a living.
Well, I'm a carpenter. I remodel, redecorate, build things.
So, Corey, why are you here? What is your problem?
Well, I've always had this tremendous, debilitating fear of women. I mean, I really want to be with them, but I can't seem to get up the courage.
Why do you think that is?
They're just so damn overwhelming. But I know I'm straight. I mean, I dream heterosexual.
Michael, I see here in my notes that you teach art.
Yes, that's right, at the local community college.
What would you like to talk about today?
Well, I'd like to discuss my relationship with Jenny.
Nan, who's Jenny?
Uh, Jenny... Jenny was a student of mine in art class.
Okay, what would you like to tell me about Jenny?
Jenny was cute, dumb, and aggressive. I love girls who are cute, dumb, and aggressive, so I asked her out.
What about the ethical question? You being a teacher, Jenny your student.
Look, I'm just an art professor. Who am I to dictate my moral values to others?
Sorry I'm late. Traffic in this town sucks. Big time. You mind if I eat?
Go ahead. John, I see by my notes here that you keep referring to yourself as Big John. Would you mind explaining that?
Let's just say that I don't suffer from penis envy. French fry?
No, thanks.
I always eat when I'm frustrated.
Why are you frustrated, John?
I didn't get laid last night. Man, do I feel unattractive.
Do you feel you've got to have sex every night to feel attractive?
Let's face it, men are sexual animals. The male's ravenous sexual appetite is the most important factor in keeping civilization alive.
What are your expectations when it comes to women?
My expectations. Now, Playboy set my expectations for women. Kind of a hard act to follow, Imagine my shock when I found out that women had pimples on their butts.
Have you ever had a meaningful relationship with a woman?
Yes. Her name was Alma. But, I had this little obstacle.
What obstacle was that?
Do I have to say?
I think it would be helpful.
Okay. Well, I couldn't maintain an erection.
Michael, what happened to your relationship with Jenny?
Well, I knew it was a little sudden, but I asked Jenny to move in with me.
Did she?
Jenny moved into my space. And that's what I wanted to ask you today is, did I make a commitment or just a mistake?
Sure. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the guy with the big one is some sort of serial sex freak. That I'm obsessed with sex. Well, let me let you in on a little secret. Girls like it too. At least those that are honest.
Richard, what is your idea of the perfect woman?
Perfect woman. I tell ya, Pamela Anderson. Now that's, wow. I never used to miss an episode of Baywatch. That is my idea of a real woman.
I was horrified I might be gay. And so I told this to Alma, and she said she understood because, well, she read Ms. Magazine. And then there was this article that she read, and the article said that a good woman could straighten a gay man out. But I thought this was kind of strange, you know, because I never imagined Ms. Gloria Steinem as being a very attractive woman. Or for that matter, a straight one. It's kind of like how I can't imagine Dr. Ruth engaging in her favorite topic, fellatio.
Naive, sweet, innocent Jenny turned out to be man's worst nightmare. A feminist. Do you want to know what my definition of a feminist is?
I'd like to hear this.
A feminist is a woman who enjoys discussing sex more than having sex.
John, I see here by my notes that you keep referring to someone named Rhonda. I think we should talk about Rhonda.
Rhonda was everything a man could want in a woman. Looks, brains, and fantastic in bed. She even has to see me again. But you know something? Whenever I date the same chick more than once, I get this uneasy feeling that she's secretly out to possess the big one. She's thinking, is this the man I'm going to marry, have kids with? Is this the man who's going to support me for the rest of my life and after divorce do us part? Is this Mr. Right? Wrong! It scares the holy crap out of a guy.
Why haven't you found that perfect woman? It sounds to me that's what you're looking for.
I've always been a connoisseur of the Playboy centerfold. So my quest is to find the perfect body. And where the hell am I going to find a perfect body? I mean, without a staple in her navel.
The more expectations Alma heaped upon me, the more difficult it became to maintain the semblance of affection, much less get an erection. I mean, I was having enough trouble without Alma praying over my penis, sprinkling it with holy water, hoping for a miracle.
Jenny stood in the middle of my living room and said she didn't feel comfortable. Said she didn't feel like it was her house. Can you believe it? It was the first thing we agreed upon since she moved in.
Rhonda was perfect. In fact, she was a little too perfect. And it always made me uptight when a chick was too perfect. Her makeup and clothes, perfect. Her apartment, perfect. She was even perfect in bed. It's like you sit around day after day waiting for her to fart or something.
Richard, tell me about your quest.
Quest. I hiked, I biked, I jogged. I mean, I went to health food stores and ate at vegetarian restaurants, tolerating tofu. Finally, I went to this aerobics class. Oh my God, the aerobics instructor. She was incredible. Her name was Inga. Isn't that great? Inga. And just the sound of it conjures up images of black leather and bondage. Inga, the dominatrix. Inga, Nazi she-wolf. Tell you, Inga was my Pamela Anderson. God, she was.
Anyway, Alma and I decided to give up on my erection and become friends. Housemates. Which then she immediately met and brought home this Mr. Macho guy named Bert. And he kept staring at me. And I wondered if Alma had told him something about me. You know, we did share our most intimate secrets. Because he just kept, this Bert guy just kept staring at me with this goddamn knowingly all smirk on his face. It really freaked me out. Fuck him. Figuratively, that is.
Jenny and this feminist crap had gotten totally out of control. I mean, it threatened to wreck what little was left of our relationship. So what if men dominated the workplace, commanding higher salaries? So what if they refused women the right to choose what they could or could not do with their reproductive organs? I mean, you tell me, what in the hell did any of that have to do with us?
Rhonda turned out to be everything I ever wanted in a woman. She was a soulmate. She hated marriage and children. She had her own business, was financially independent. She said she was the epitome of the new millennium woman. But something happened on our first date that confused the hell out of me.
So I'm all breathless, achy, and sweaty, and I charge up to Inga and ask her for a date. She said, without even breathing hard, she didn't date customers. And I said, I quit. She said she didn't date ex-customers either. Look, I know she wanted me. She saw my Porsche. I'm not stupid. I designed software.
Well, eventually, Alma's Mr. Macho guy, this Bert the Beautiful character, and his staring thing sent me running straight to a therapist. Her name was Ginger Lee. Now, Ginger Lee was the teen porn queen before she became a therapist. Well, first she found Jesus, and then she became a sexual therapist. And Ginger Lee said that I should get in touch with my feminine side. But I said that's kind of the problem. I didn't want a feminine side.
The less sex we had, the more powerful Jenny became. That thing between her legs became this golden calf. This holy shrine of adoration that I knelt before and brought offerings to, but was forbidden to touch. And Jenny became this gigantic, this amazing Amazon queen. I was no longer the ruler of my kingdom.
Will you respect me after? Rhonda demanded. She licked her way down my body. No, I snarled. No, I will not respect you after, before, or in between. I will always remember you as the slutty, man-eating, manipulating, cum-sucking whore that you are right now.
You know, at night, after watching Inga in class, I just lay awake and fantasized. Inga as Princess Leia. Inga as Laura Croft. Inga as my personal sex slave. You know, I remastered a technique all of us geeks perfected in college. I jacked off a lot. I mean, a lot.
I told Ginger Lee about Alma's hunk of beefcake Bert staring at me, and Ginger Lee proposed the theory that maybe Bert was staring at me not because I repulsed him, no, but because he was sexually attracted to me. But then I informed Ginger Lee that Alma had gone on and on in graphic detail about Bert's sexual prowess in the sack. And Ginger Lee asked me if I knew what the word naive meant.
I wanted Jenny, but I wanted peace more. I marveled at the resilience of my parents. Living under the same roof for 45 years? I asked Jenny to move out. I needed my space more than I needed sex once a month.
Inga had the balls to tell me that my Porsche was an extension of my penis. I had to destroy her. I had to find a flaw. And I found it. You know, I respected her honesty. I could never sleep with a woman I respected.
Rhonda didn't give a damn whether I respected her or not. But the guise of respect gave her the excuse to do something that was totally against her principles. Fuck a total stranger.
Guess what? I found out Inga was a lesbian. My ego was saved. It wasn't me she hated. She hated all men.
Finally, when it came time for me to consummate my therapy with Ginger Lee, I asked her how many clients that she had had in the past. She said she wasn't sure, but she thought it might be around 30. I told her, you can't be too sure, but she said that she was regularly tested for AIDS and that she was negative. And she understood. She said that we double up on the condom use and use a spermicide. I didn't think I could handle any more obstacles, actually.
I felt really bad about moving Jenny out. So I asked her when I was helping her load the U-Haul. I said, "Jenny, can we still be friends?" She asked me my definition of what a friend was. I said, see each other, date. She thought about it for a moment, handed me another box for the U-Haul, and said, "You don't fuck friends." I'm like, Jenny, grow up. Jeez.
Physically, Rhonda had begun to lug around a big disappointment. She'd fallen into a kind of contentment in our relationship, and she ate everything. Her ass had grown to the point where I no longer enjoyed sex with the lights on. I watched, horrified, as it grew bigger every day, like some cheap B-movie monster. I knew this could easily turn out to be the ass that ate Cleveland.
I finally met this not so perfect but close woman named Gloria. You finally meet this near perfect woman and you make commitments because you like the way she is, and right away she starts changing things. I mean, the color of her hair and her clothes and the way she smells and the way she walks and talks. Breast reduction, liposuction, face peel and fanny tuck. One evening you go and you pick up this total stranger. She goes, "Do you like it? It's the new me." And I say, what I liked, what I was in love with, was the old you.
Ginger Lee suggested that I put my fear of being gay to the test. She suggested that I go to a gay bar. I told her I couldn't go to a gay bar. I just got a bad haircut.
Jenny was finally gone. Every vestige of that bitch was gone. Free at last, free at last. My place, my space. I wondered what I was going to do that night. Kick back with the boys, have a few beers, watch a little TV. But somehow the place seemed bigger, emptier.
Rhonda informed me, Big John, that she intended to be, let's see how she put that, top man, ride high in the saddle. I felt my scrotum shrinking, my balls retreating, taking refuge. She straddled me and dug into her heels, galloped into the sunset, yelling, "Hi-ho, Silver, away!"
Gloria, the near-perfect woman, well, that didn't work out. I didn't know what the hell would work. I didn't have a clue. I was so clueless, I went to the bookstore looking for answers. In the self-help section. Men who hate women and women who love them for it. Women who love to hate men. Men who love women who hate them. Men and women who love to hate each other. Men and women who hate everyone and love themselves for it. After reading this crap, I really didn't have a clue.
One guy in the entire bar. And he was just a maybe. Anyway, I called gingerly on the payphone. And she said I was afraid of commitment. And I told her if only the guy had been more effeminate. You know, was a drag queen or a transsexual or something. Somebody I could pretend was a girl.
Jenny and I, eventually, we started talking again. So I bought an answering machine. I didn't want to miss her calls, you know, in case she was available. When Jenny didn't call, I knew she was seeing someone else. Damn it, she was suddenly so attractive again.
The more problems I had with Rhonda, the more emasculated I felt. I started having this recurring nightmare. I dreamed I was in bed with Michelle Pfeiffer, and I couldn't find the big one.
So, like Dr. Frankenstein, I created the perfect woman. I dated Joanna's awesome tits and Barbara's beautiful butt and Louise's long, luscious legs. If only I had been a Mormon.
So there I was at the urinal at the gay bar, with 6 other guys with their penises hanging out. And we were reading this poster on the wall, and it said, "Sex without condoms can lead to AIDS." What a time to have doubts about your sexuality. It's kind of like being Protestant during the Inquisition.
I was a fool to let Jenny go. Before I met someone else.
I was having that dickless nightmare more often, and each time with another famous movie star. The last time, it was with Cher. I said, "I'm sorry, Cher, but I can't find my dick." She laughed and said, "Don't worry, we'll use mine."
Safe sex? Now that's an oxymoron. Now I had, well, due to my insecurities and my problems with women, I had unwittingly practiced safe sex my entire life. And while that's no great feat, at least for once, I was in vogue.
I won't have any trouble practicing safe sex. I had plenty of practice when I lived with Jenny.
I'm practicing safe sex. I'm dating somebody nobody else would want. So what if she has pimples on her butt? I think it's a sign of maturity. I've learned to settle for less.
What do you think women want from men?
They want your body.
They want your mind.
They want your money.
And they want your house.
They
want
everything.
Yeah.
That'll be all. Same time next week.
Shit.